What if I told you that fans predicted Gear 5th over a decade before it happened? Or that someone on a random forum guessed the true nature of devil fruits back in 2008? One Piece fans are not just theorists, they are time travelers. And some of their wildest guesses turned out to be exactly right. Welcome to One Piece Uncovered, where we dig into the mysteries, secrets, and mind-blowing truths hidden inside the world's greatest manga. Today we are looking at fan theories that actually came true. Theories so accurate, it is like Oda himself was reading the forums. Let's start with the biggest one. Nika, the sun god. Gear 5th, Luffy's true power. For years, fans speculated that Luffy's devil fruit was not just a simple Gomu Gomu no Mi. It felt too convenient, too central to the story. Oda does not do simple. Everything in One Piece connects to something deeper. Back in 2018, a popular theory emerged on Reddit and various Japanese forums. Fans noticed that Luffy's silhouette in Gear 4th resembled ancient depictions of gods. His flame-like hair, his exaggerated movements, his ability to bring joy and freedom wherever he went. People started asking, what if Luffy is not just a rubber man? What if he is meant to become something divine? Then Skypiea came back into focus. Fans reread the arc and noticed something. The concept of the sun god was already there. Nika was not introduced randomly in Wano. Oda planted the seeds over 20 years ago. Fans connected the dots. They saw how Luffy always fought like he was dancing, how he smiled even in the worst situations, how he literally liberated people from tyranny just like a mythical savior would. When Chapter 1044 dropped in 2022, the internet exploded. Luffy's devil fruit was never the Gomu Gomu no Mi, it was the Hito Hito no Mi, model Nika. A mythical Zoan. Fans were right. Luffy was always destined to become the sun god. But here's the kicker. Some fans predicted this exact twist back in 2018. 4 years early, they pointed to the symbolism, the way Luffy's powers defied normal logic, the way his presence changed the world around him. They saw what Oda was building and they called it. This was not luck. This was pattern recognition. Oda's storytelling is so layered, so deliberate, that if you pay close attention, you can actually see the future. Now let's talk about Sabo. Luffy's other brother, the one we thought was dead. When Sabo was first mentioned in the Marineford flashbacks, fans immediately got suspicious. Oda does not waste tragedy. Every death in One Piece serves a purpose. Ace's death broke Luffy. It changed him. But Sabo's death felt different. It happened off-screen. We only saw the aftermath. No body, no confirmation. Just a destroyed ship and a grieving child. Fans started theorizing almost immediately. What if Sabo survived? What if he lost his memory? What if he is out there somewhere, alive, and Luffy just does not know it yet? The theory gained traction because of how Oda handles character deaths. In One Piece, if you do not see the body, they are probably alive. Pell survived a bomb. Bon Clay survived Impel Down. Pound survived being sliced by an emperor. Oda loves fake-out deaths, so when Sabo was revealed to be alive in Dressrosa, fans were not shocked. They expected it. The Revolutionary Army, the memory loss, the eventual reunion. It all fit perfectly. Fans had predicted his return years before it happened, and Oda delivered exactly what they imagined. But there's more. Fans also predicted that Sabo would inherit Ace's devil fruit, the Mera Mera no Mi. When Doflamingo put the fruit up as a prize in the Colosseum, people immediately knew Sabo is going to eat that fruit. He is going to carry on Ace's will. And that is exactly what happened. Sabo became the new flame user. He inherited his brother's power and his legacy. Fans saw it coming because Oda's storytelling follows emotional logic. It was the perfect way to honor Ace while giving Sabo a deeper role in the story. The Will of D, one of the longest-running mysteries in One Piece, and fans have been theorizing about it since the very beginning. Early theories suggested that the D-clan were the natural enemies of the world government, that they carried the will of an ancient kingdom, that their purpose was to bring down the celestial dragons and restore freedom to the world. At first, this seemed like wild speculation, but as the story progressed, Oda kept confirming pieces of it. Doflamingo called the D-clan the natural enemies of the gods. Rocinante explained that people with the D initial always seem to disrupt the established order. Law, a D himself, became obsessed with taking down the system that destroyed his home. Then we got to Wano, and everything clicked. The Void Century, the Ancient Kingdom, Joy Boy, the truth about the world government's rise to power. It all tied back to the will of D fans were right from the start. The D clan are the descendants of those who opposed the world government's formation. They carry the will of the Ancient Kingdom. Their role is to finish what Joy Boy started 800 years ago, to challenge the corrupt system, to bring the dawn. And the craziest part? Fans theorized most of this over a decade ago. They saw the patterns. They connected Ohara, the poneglyphs, and the D clan into one unified theory. When Oda finally started revealing the truth, it matched what the community had already figured out. This is the power of One Piece fans. They do not just consume the story, they decode it. And speaking of decoding, there is one theory fans got right that might be even bigger than Nika. It involves the One Piece itself, and I am going to tell you about it in just a minute. But first, let's talk about some smaller predictions that prove Oda is either a genius or a mind reader. Not every theory has to be world-shaking. Sometimes the smallest predictions are the most satisfying. Take Kaido's devil fruit. Fans debated for years what kind of zone he had. A dragon, obviously. But what kind? Mythical? Ancient? Some fans guessed it was a fish fruit. They pointed to the legend of the koi fish that climbed a waterfall and became a dragon. A Chinese myth about transformation and perseverance. When Oda revealed that Kaido's fruit was the Uo Uo no Mi, model Seiryu, a fish fruit that grants dragon powers, fans went insane. They called it. They used cultural mythology to predict the exact type of devil fruit Oda would choose. That is next-level theorizing. Then there's Zoro's lineage. For years, people speculated that Zoro had a connection to Wano. His fighting style, his respect for samurai culture, his design. Fans dug through old SBS answers and found hints. Oda once drew the Straw Hats as families from different countries. He drew Zoro as Japanese. When Zoro's connection to the Shimotsuki clan was revealed, fans were not surprised. They had been saying it for years. Zoro is a descendant of Wano samurai, his connection to Ryuma, his mastery of Enma. It all made sense. Fans saw it coming because they paid attention to the details. And let's not forget Crocodile. The theory that Crocodile was assigned female at birth has been circulating since Impel Down. Ivankov's cryptic comments, Crocodile's reaction to them, the secret Ivankov holds over him. Fans theorized that Crocodile transitioned using Ivankov's powers, and that is why he stays quiet. Oda has not confirmed this, but he has not denied it either. And the way he writes Ivankov and Crocodile's relationship strongly suggests the theory is correct. Fans piece together subtext and background details to build a theory that fits perfectly within the world Oda created. These smaller theories prove something important. One Piece rewards attention. If you read carefully, if you notice the small things, you can predict the big reveals. Now, let's talk about the biggest theory of all. The One Piece. What is it? Fans have debated this question for over 20 years. And while we still do not have a definitive answer, one theory has stood the test of time. The One Piece is not a treasure in the traditional sense. It is knowledge. It is the truth about the Void Century. It is the story of the Ancient Kingdom and the real history of the world. The treasure is the ability to reveal what the world government has been hiding for 800 years. This theory has existed since the early 2000s. Fans noticed that Gold D. Roger laughed when he found the One Piece. He did not seem greedy. He did not seem power-hungry. He seemed amused, joyful, like he had just learned the greatest joke in history. Then Oden's flashback confirmed it. Roger learned the truth. He discovered what happened during the Void Century. He understood why the world is the way it is. And he laughed because it was ironic, tragic, absurd. The treasure was not gold or jewels, it was information. Fans predicted this because they understood the themes of One Piece. This story is about freedom, about uncovering lies, about challenging corrupt systems. The ultimate treasure in a story like that is not wealth, it is truth. And Oda has been hinting at this for decades. Rayleigh offered to tell Robin everything, but she refused. She wanted to find the answers herself. The journey matters more than the destination. The real treasure is what you learn along the way. This theory is almost certainly correct, and fans have been saying it for over 15 years. So why do One Piece fans get so many theories right? Why are they so good at predicting twists that most authors would consider impossible to guess? The answer is simple. Eiichiro Oda is consistent. He plants seeds early. He follows through on foreshadowing. He rewards readers who pay attention. One Piece is not a series that makes things up as it goes. It is a carefully constructed narrative with a beginning, middle, and end already planned out. Oda has said in interviews that he knew the ending of One Piece before he even started drawing. He has been building toward that ending for over 25 years. Every arc, every character, every mystery, they all connect. Fans understand this. They know that if something seems important, it probably is. If a detail gets mentioned once, it will come back later. If a character acts strangely, there is a reason. Oda does not waste panels. He does not write filler. Everything matters. That is why theories come true. Because fans trust Oda's process. They analyze his patterns. They connect dots across hundreds of chapters. And when they make predictions, they base them on evidence, not wishful thinking. One Piece fans are not just guessing. They are reading the story the way Oda intended. They are detectives solving a mystery that has been unfolding for decades. So what does this mean for the future? What other theories might come true before One Piece ends? Will Blackbeard have 3 devil fruits? Will the ancient weapons destroy the Red Line? Will Luffy's mother finally be revealed? Fans have theories about all of it, and based on history, some of them are definitely right. The beauty of One Piece is that even when you predict a twist, it still hits hard. Because Oda does not just give you the answer. He gives you the perfect execution, the emotional weight, the storytelling brilliance. Fans knew Gear 5th was coming, but nobody expected it to feel like that. Fans knew Sabo was alive. But the reunion still broke hearts. Predictions do not ruin One Piece, they enhance it. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to One Piece Uncovered for more deep dives into the greatest story ever told. And drop a comment. What theory do you think will come true next? Let's talk about it. Because in the world of One Piece, the craziest theories are not just possible, they are inevitable.